good morning, and a welcome to the Friday edition of Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, Anne, and Disembodied Hands, Quindy, Justin, and, well, John. Probably more John than Justin. Should I just drop Justin out? I'd hate to do that. I'd hate to exclude Justin, but we don't know he actually exists anymore. Hello, everybody. I suppose if you watch Reaper Live, you probably can hear him, so you know he exists. So, I mean, I will accept that proof of his existence, I guess. I suppose I could text him and say, hey, Justin, do you still exist? Hello. So how is everybody? How was your St. Patty's? We had very tasty corned beef. Oh, this is the way I'm doing corned beef from now on. The Instant Pot aced it. Best corned beef ever. Really moist and tasty, not dry at all. He might be a highly sophisticated or a not very sophisticated AI. I went there. My stream is about to crash. Justin goes, gee. Oh yeah. Hold on. I'll show you. Oh gosh, I hate spam calls. I hate them all. All right. So let's see. I've got a picture because David likes to take a picture when I make pretty food for him. So we did a roasted cabbage, which is what that is, with garlic butter, and that's more roasted cabbage. And then we did roasted potatoes and carrots, fresh from our garden that the previous owner planted. I dug up all the carrots, and then we had them last night. And then tasty corned beef. So that was what we had last night, and the Guinness is David's, not mine. So yes. Roasted cabbage, by the way, is the way to go. I'm convinced now. I've tried it all sorts of other ways, and I did it in butter in a pan last time, kind of steamed it, braised it, and that was okay. But the roasted cabbage with the garlic butter, all about it. I need to cut it thinner, but when it crisps up, it's so good. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have made Irish soda bread in the past, but since I'm low carb, it's just deadly for me now, Sagebrush. Like, because I love it. And I will eat a ton of it slathered with Irish butter. Oh, my God. But, yeah, I have a kick butt recipe for Irish soda bread. But, yeah, I don't let myself make it very often. So I just dispensed yesterday because I had so much on my plate already. No green Guinness. Okay, good. I'm glad you took the hit for me, Sagebrush. Fantastic. Alrighty. Well then, we've got a kitty cat. I want to get some highlights on this kitty cat for today. Hey, New and Code, thank you. 28 months. Thanks for the resub. Super fantastic. Let's see here, kitty cat. I think I totally screwed up and didn't so much keep notes on what oranges I used. So I'm just gonna, wing it. That and not that. And I'm going to say orange, brown, and let's see here. What else do I want to use? Yeah, that. Sure. I think a little bit of an off-white. This is where I test my color matching skills, where I'm just like, yeah, I think I can figure out what I use there. No. Totally forgot to clean off all my plate here, so. So yeah, I'm going to use a mix to try to get back to my kitty cat orange here. I'm going to use explosion orange brown, and a bit of probably bleached linen. Pretty much I want to create something that I can work with as a base. Yeah, I have leftover corned beef, of course. That's the great thing about making a corned beef brisket, is your leftover corned beef that you can then use for Reubens. So I'm going to do a mix of these, see if I like it. Maybe, yeah, that's close. It's really close. Yeah, we'll just go with that. This is an example of, because I'm just like mixing a color that looks like the color that I forgot that I used. I'm just, honestly, it's an example of why you guys don't need to overthink color matching. Close is good enough. You don't need to go crazy. This is another place where overthinking is rampant in the hobby. When really, where did I put my bleached linen? Did I like carry it into the other room and completely eat it? I might have. Oh well. In which case, Osirian sand it is. Hello, green users. How's it going? How's life in sunny Arizona? You guys probably getting a little bit warm, right? I was so excited when I saw that it might hit 80 next week. Right before we go to Adepticon. Chicago in April, which will suck. Freezing rain, you know, all that crap. I'm like, every time I look at the temperature, the projected temperature, I'm just like, why are we doing this to David? Why? Why are we going to this terrible place? It's just like, not a smart thing to do. Not a smart thing to do. And then he says things like, but honey, it's our anniversary. We started dating at Adepticon. And then I go, oh, all right. Where's my water? Water. So I've mixed up a bunch of colors here. 80s there today? I wish, man. It's taking a while this year here to get above, like, it firmly into the 70s. It keeps, like, sneaking down into the 50s. And I'm like, no. Oh, that's a good orange. I like this orange. I'll have to keep notes on my orange today. This is a good orange. So this orange is half and half, orange brown, because you want a more organic orange, and explosion orange, which also has a bit of the oxides in it, lightened up with Osirian sand. Probably 331. Yeah, above normal. That's too bad, Twisted Oma. At least you got your Reuben. Any excuse, really, to make special foods, as long as I have the energy, which isn't always the case. So I dropped 1 drop of water in there. Do I want more water? I think I'm going to leave that as is for now. I do, however, want a creamy color for his markings, so I'm going to just keep with Osirian sand, and I'm going to do 4 drops of it. And I'm going to put a little bit of my orange into it. Just like, you know, a blob to tint it. That'll give us a start before we go straight up. I could go straight up to the off-white, but sometimes I like to kind of just knock in my colors to figure out placement using something that's a little bit more blendable with the fur color. So we've got kind of a pale orange. I almost made a color like this for Master Series. It was it would have been a Violate Anne's Food Rule color, though, because I wanted to call it Buttercream Frosting. So I had this prototype called Buttercream Frosting that I never finished. But that was the color, guys. That was the color right there. So now that Reaper doesn't care about food rules, maybe somebody else will get the idea to make buttercream frosting. But in other case, it's easy to mix. Like, this is why you don't have a lot, other than off-whites, you don't have a lot of, like, pale pastel colors in MSP. It's because they're just so darn easy to mix. So, for a long time, I just didn't do them because they were not, like, they weren't hard. It's not hard to add white to a color. I'm going to look for a reference picture now. I have specific ideas in mind as to this kitty. So, orange tabby. Go. Oh, they're so cute. How could you not love orange kittens? Kind of like that guy. I think this guy. Although I want green eyes. I definitely want the green eyes, I think. Green or blue. Ginger Cat Appreciation Day. Really? What is Ginger Cat Appreciation Day? Oh, I see. Somebody was doing a Ginger Cat Appreciation Day. So they were essentially just creating like 10 days of orange cats, which I appreciate. I definitely embrace that mentality. So this one's pretty darn orange. Pretty darn orange. But a lot of light color, as you can see. So we're going to be working, I think, with... I'm going to use some rusted anchor. And I'm going to use the orange brown. And I'm going to create a little bit more shadow. And we're just going to work with making our orange less orange and getting some cream elements in there. Cool. I hope it's relatively fresh. Store it in the freezer, POTUS. Storing it in the freezer is a great tactic because it will, if it's a ribbon, it will start to cure where the two sides meet, but you can keep it fresher by keeping it in the freezer. We keep ours in the freezer until we need it. Getting it from the local game store, you have no idea how fresh it relatively is, but any help will be good. So they definitely have light spectacles around their eyes, so we're going to have to do light color around the Paladin's eyes here. Definitely a white chin. So I'm going to start to just kind of bring in a little bit of these lighter colors. And this is usually the stage where I start kind of blocking in markings because you don't want to sit and highlight and shade everything before you get here. Or you're just going to paint over it, and that's a waste of your time. We had our first cat, like as a kid, my first cat was, boy, we had 60 zillion names for him, but he was an orange kitten that there were people who found kittens on the side of the road, and they brought them around in a basket, and Mom decided she needed the orange one. And he lived to be like 18, that cat. So I have a soft spot for orange kittens. So let's just get these light markings around the eyes. Oh, I got a little bit onto the eye there, but that's okay. Just rinse out our brush and use water to kind of buff that right off. So give it the spectacles. The ones I always found to be most interesting were the calicos, Julie. My favorite cats have been my Siamese and part Siamese, except actually my all-time favorite cat of all time was my Abyssinian Ishtar. I still miss Ish. Ish and Kiri, like, those were my two heart animals. Ishtar was fantastic, and I lost her to feline diabetes. Taught me a hard lesson about pet ownership, that I never ever wanted to be in the situation where I couldn't pay for my pet's care anymore. So after that, I got pet insurance. And also a savings and emergency savings account for animal emergencies. Because I had to let her go because at that time, it wasn't easy to treat feline diabetes, and there was no way I could have afforded it. So it was very heartbreaking for me. Because she was a fantastic cat. Everybody loved Ishtar. She was fantastic. But, yeah. Don't care. I put those away already. Thanks, Robin, but like I said, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Mix a color that looks close and you're going to be just fine. Today, I got almost the same results by mixing Explosion Orange Brown and Osirian Sand. So, and it's actually probably a little bit more realistic in some ways. But yeah, I'd gotten off the red hair triad because I was working on a commission that required it. But I put it away, so now I'm just like, meh. Overthinking is many people's superpower on this stream, POTUS, but if you, it will do you good to just relax and go with the flow. Trust me on this. Let's see, I've got to get my kitty cat picture again. All right, so I can go white with the area around the muzzle. Some cats don't have white, some cats do have white here, but I kind of like the look of lightening the area around the muzzle, at least, on the sides of it. I like to keep the top dark. All orange cats share one brain cell? That's funny. But yeah, thanks for looking up the original colors, Robin. At this point, I'd already committed, and I like this color just fine. It's close enough. You won't be able to tell the difference. Like there's just like this point where I ask myself, does it really make that much difference? And the answer is no. So I'm like, all right. So I want those areas to be lighter. So already that's making, notice how that makes his face come out. When you block in markings, it's an opportunity to accentuate the expression of the figure and to make the different parts stand out, especially because I'm going to leave this orange here. And I'm probably even going to darken it a bit. So that's going to like separate out the muzzle and make you really see the different parts of the face. And then as I bring up these markings to be even closer to white, it's going to be even more so, right? And I'm going to make the inside of his ears creamy. I am going to mix up a shadow at this point. As I mentioned, I'm using Rusted Anchor, which is a reddish brown, which I like. It's a fast palette color. It is pretty. It's very close if you need it's close to Auburn Shadow. Obviously, I'm using it as a red hair shadow, so that should be evident. And it's kind of similar to Mahogany Brown, but Mahogany Brown is much more red. So if you were going to like use Mahogany Brown because it's what you had, that's 9070, I would add a little bit of Oxide Red from the Kickstarter or Rust Brown 9072 to make it closer to Rusted Anchor. I can't believe that all orange cats share a single brain cell. Like at least one brain cell in common. Alrighty. I'm going to thin this down. I'm going to add a bit of my orange base to it as well, just to make everything work together a little better. I think that's a pretty good dark ginger color. Let me look at my kitty cats again. Just got to compare to kitty cats. Must look at kitty cats. Then must look at shadow color. And I think that's real close, actually. It's very close to this kitty. All right, so I think I like that color. I think it's a really good shade for, actually, this kitten right here. This one. That's exactly the colors we're using. Like, if you look at it, like, there we go. Except I'm going to make the whole muzzle white, I think. But if you look at the orange here, we've got that right here. And the orange on the fur is very close to this. And then I'm going to bring that pale color up. So, yeah, I think we've nailed pretty much this particular ginger cat. I really like this kitty. Yay! Mahogany Brown is great, but it's just a little bit too red for this Nomad Zeke, in my opinion. I would cut it with something else. Unless you're really, I don't know. Yeah, if you're going for a very cartoony effect and you want to do a brighter orange and a deeper red, then yeah, you could do that. But I think I'm going to go a different direction here. So let's see here. I want paler inside of the ears. I wanted to get that dark color mixed up because I do want to start utilizing it